In any case, welcome. It's Book Chat now, and our book in focus today is titled Mind Shift, Unleashing Your Creative Essence by Omololu Ogunmade, an author and public speaker with an entrepreneurial drive. You are welcome here today, sir. First off, you're looking very, very good.
Thank you.
When I read your book, I saw your picture, I thought you were familiar. I thought you were one of my mates from back in school, but you're not.
Well, it's possible.
It's all good.
Man of many parts.
Yes, indeed. Now, I found this very interesting, Mind Shift, and also the topic, Unleashing Your Creative Essence. I'm a person who believes that your passion should actually be the one thing that is front and forward, and that helps you to, everything else should center around whatever your passion is, creativity, essentially. And I found your the build-up to one's passion here in the book very interesting. But first, I wanted to talk about how you started the book, how you put yourself in place, talked about how you grew up, and how we are a product of our environments, talking about growing up, your father growing up with your dad who was at the bank, and then everything kind of like taking a different...
From there.
So exactly how are we that product of the environment, and how does it affect our creativity?
Well, it's good you're starting from there, because that's really the foundation of it all.
Exactly.
Because, a child is born into life with a mind that is like a clean slate. It's like, this white part of what I'm wearing.
True.
And immediately the mind gets to work after birth, and that child starts to receive input, information, knowledge from different sources. And because that child has not gotten to the point where they can think independently, thoughts are projected at the child.
Yeah.
So the child's fundamental and basic gathering of information is all suggested thoughts until that child gets to that point where the rational faculty starts to function.
Which is very interesting because...
So that's what we call precepts.
Yeah.
Because what you have done until that child gets to that age where they can start actually thinking and taking decisions, they have imbibed a whole set of thinking patterns suggested by external association, so to speak.
Do you think this is solely an African culture type
of
thing?
It's a global thing. It's a humanity matter.
If you ask me, and this is what I thought while I was reading it, I thought that here in Africa it's a major factor because we have everything imposed on us, including secular thoughts or concepts, and most especially religion.
I know, but that's why I said it's a humanity thing, because even in the Western climate, or whether you want to go to Asia, a child is still going to grow up with some level of parental influence, guidance, and people like that.
But new thinking, however, when does one become aware to this new thinking?
Yeah, I don't think there's you can put a date to it in terms of the awareness, but because the environmental factors still sort of determine that in terms of how quickly does an individual get to that cognitive part of themselves when they actually start rationalizing and then getting to take decisions. So it really, really depends on circumstances and factors that one can't determine. But if I was to think of myself, I know that by the time I was getting to the age of 7, 8 as a child, I could see that I was beginning to question things. Yeah. And I would question the older ones around me. At times you get an answer, at times you get, you get a slap, not a physical slap, but a slap in terms of what they're telling you, come on, what do you think? Why are you thinking like that?
That doesn't
why
mean
are you saying that? Stop
thinking like that. It means that you should continue in the position.
So what we have as a demerit here is the fact that at that level, you are more or less like, told to shut up.
Yeah.
Whereas in more advanced climes, at that level, you are actually engaged.
Yeah.
So that's probably the difference between us and them, in the sense that they get to start exploring and adventuring at an earlier age than we get to over here.
In one of your chapters, you talked about, that's chapter 3, thoughts and imagination. As a man is thinking, so is he becoming. Thinking is a continuum. This is your quote. Now, this is mind conditioning. This is, I call it becoming aware and realizing that you have to make certain changes if you're going to break through that border and start to think creatively and embracing that passion. But you tell us more about this.
Yeah, mind conditioning is really what has been, there's a phrase I came up with recently, which I call the accident of being. the accident of being as in, being alive.
Yeah.
Now, the accident of being is a result of mind conditioning, where what has been stored in a person's mind through the years has brought that person to a point where they are living a life that is not the original life they would have lived if some of those factors had not been, imposed on them. So you're living what I call a borrowed life. And, you look through our society now, particularly with the youth, because I'm passionate about that.
Yeah.
Because like we say, the youth are the leaders of tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if we're raising a bunch of people who have an identity crisis, who are suffering from the accident of being, because what they see, what they have imbibed, is not what they are on the inside. Their true essence has been denied and covered up. And they are all trying to be what they are not. And those are the people we want to hand over Nigeria to. Then there's a problem.
Is that what you meant when you talked about passion being transferable? Is it
Exactly.
the wrong passion that is being transferred onto these youths now?
That's one of the ways we can rescue this generation. We need to find true leaders, true examples that we can, put before these people, as in the younger ones now, and let them see the stories of these people. And hopefully thought to be transferred.
How do you put a timeline to such a thing? Because
no,
it seems like as if it's already gone too far and it's almost too late if you want to transfer such good models to the youth. If they've been denied all of this all their lives and they're following the wrong passion, they've been transferred the wrong ideas, the wrong concepts, then where do we start from to recondition the minds of these people? Is my question now.
Yeah, well, you see, the thing is,
and how long will that take?
Life is difficult to time in terms of how long it's going to take to do this, how long it's going to take to do that. Even pregnancy that's supposed to be 9 months, at times ends up at 6 months, 7 months, 10 months.
True.
So life in itself has those parts of it that you just have to flow with. But the important thing is to start the process. And then to, like I said, bring credible examples before these people in different forums.
Yeah.
So what has happened to me now by default is that Mindshift has become a training platform, which recently I launched what I call the Mindshift Academy.
Okay.
Where we now put people together in different settings and we share ideas with them and get them to, give us feedback. In fact, coincidentally, I just want to chip this in. I actually have one of such meetings today.
Oh, okay.
So when I was, contacted for this, I was like, whoo, it's going to be a busy day.
Yes, indeed it is. Real quick now, how much of a factor does individual desire, play in mind shifting generally for individuals?
Oh, desire is a very, very strong part of it. It's a very, very critical part of it because, and the truth of the matter is, every living person who is cognitive in the sense that they've gotten to that point where they are thinking about life, has a desire, or they have desires, but there might be a particular one that their whole life is centered around. Now, what we also need to teach is how to own that desire and run with the energy of that desire. Because, like you said, we live in an environment where your desire can be so easily put out because of all of the vagaries and the challenges of our peculiar environment. But we have to find a way to hold on to desire and pursue.
Mr. Lulu, this is a fantastic book. We really appreciate the fact that you could make out time, even if it's a busy day, to be here with us today.
Thank you.
It's called Mindshift, Unleashing Your Creative Essence. And I think it's a very interesting book. I'm yet to finish it. I'm just at the final quarter of it. But I will be definitely telling you what I have discovered from this book. Thank you very much once again, Mr. Ogunmade. Do stay tuned. It is Wake Up Nigeria. We've got so much more coming your way.